So I've got news, Jared.
Okay.
My child is going to have a child.
That's right. Yes. What does that make you?
Well, that's the dilemma. What am I going to go by? Because, I mean,
I am your father's cousin's brother's roommate
in college.
In college. What does that make us?
Absolutely nothing.
There's a lot of Spaceball references we've been doing lately.
Yeah, we tend to do that.
Yeah.
No, so that's the question, right? Like, what do you go by? And like, I don't know if it's something about it's what my different grandparents went by. Like anything in those ballpark of things, it's like that seems old, and I'm not old.
Mm-hmm.
So then, what do I go by? So
you don't want to be a pappy.
No, because our father goes by Pappy.
Yeah.
For his grandkids, I had a grandma, like Meemaw. We have a Peepaw. We had a Pappy, a Mappy, a Grammy.
Yeah.
Nana, Pap.
Yeah.
All these Grandpap. All these people.
We've done pretty much all.
Those are all the ones that are kind of in the family already. So it can't be those. Mm-hmm. It's got to be something, uniquely me. So, listeners, watchers, write in with some suggestions.
You get them to give you suggestions.
Let's find out. Okay. Anybody got any good ideas? It's got to be something simple that a baby can say, right? Can't be too complex.
You already know what my suggestion is.
What was your suggestion?
The Don.
Don Josh. No, Don Youngbar.
Yeah, Don Youngbar. Yeah. Last name, yeah.
The kid's not going to say that. Might say the Don.
You just call you the Don.
The Don.
Yeah. That's easy. That's short. I think it's great. We have a lot of insight into it now. We've covered 3 movies of that.
True. Yeah.
Just think about it. Sleep on it.
Hey, welcome back to Screen Time TV, a podcast where we discuss TV streaming shows. Mm-hmm. We're currently covering Severance season 2. We talking about episode 2 today. So Jared, I think that your workie was a little excited. I have to say, he really was a jewel.
I don't remember this. What was this?
This was Rickon.
Oh, okay.
Telling.
How could I forget though?
I don't know.
Rickon. Can't forget anything he says.
My name's Josh, and this is my co-host Jared.
Josh, let Kier guide your hand.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's what I
have that one down.
That was my. Yep, that was mine. And the other one is, you don't value me, you fear me.
Oh, that's a good one too. My other one's along the line. Actually, I think from the same scene. I welcome your contrition, Josh.
All right, so we will get into season 2, episode 2 of Severance. But before that, we'll do Based or Waste.
Yes.
And before that, though, we're going to get into a little bit of what we've been watching.
This might be light. I don't know. We're recording way earlier than normal, so.
So, Jared, what have you been watching? What do you got?
I have 2 movies.
Okay.
I won't probably have a lot to say about either.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
What's yours looks like?
I've got two things, basically 2.
Okay.
1 show and 1 movie.
Oh, all right. Wonder if we watched the same. Probably not. We probably did not watch the same movie.
No, because I know this is a film you watched a few weeks ago.
Ooh, interesting. I kind of want you to start with that. That I'm very interested in that.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
what movie did I watch a couple weeks ago?
I watched Nora.
Oh yes. Okay. All right. Tell me about it. What'd you think?
I thought it was good. I liked it. I think the lead actress, great performance.
Yes.
Her. I don't think it's as good as everyone else is saying it is.
Okay. Why not?
I mean, to me, yes. Again, it's a little spoilers. It does go places a little different than you expect.
Yes.
But to me, it wasn't like that. Like I kind of in general expected.
What about the ending though? Did that seem, the way they ended the movie, did that seem pretty predictable? Because it didn't to me.
No, not predictable, but also not just kind of like random.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, anybody can just do something random. Doesn't make sense. I mean, that's not.
I think that's the point of it, though.
Okay. I don't know. I it just didn't really, that like ending did not connect with me. I was like, oh, okay, this is dumb.
Okay.
Like that was like stupid. I mean, yeah. So,
well,
but I mean, like, I shouldn't say dumb. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. This again, yeah, whatever. And so, like, overall, like I said, I enjoyed the film in general.
Yeah.
But here's and a little bit of like, not getting into the Oscar noms majorly, but this film was nominated for one of the best picture.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with that.
And yet she didn't get nominated for best actress.
Oh, I thought she did.
I don't think so. But then
there was a lot of buzz with her, though. I thought she did get at least nominated.
I don't think so.
Okay, write in, let us know.
But what film didn't? Challengers.
It didn't get any noms?
No, for best picture. Like Challengers is so much better movie than this movie.
Yes, I like Challengers more. What about Doom Part 2? I did not see.
No, Doom Part 2 is nominated for best picture.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah.
I didn't see all that. I was wondering what all did, but I think Anora still deserves to be on it, but it's not. No, I agree with you though. Challengers is better.
And there's some other films on there I haven't seen, so I can't weigh in.
Yeah, I don't remember what else is on there,
but yeah.
Well, so I think part of the reason why I liked this film more was because it was just impressive what the director did, Sean Baker, because he directed, wrote, and edited, I believe, at least those three, which is cool. And I think it's cool when a director does that or something. So he at least did all three of those. So it was more of a singular vision of his.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen any of his other movies, but okay, well, so you still liked it, but not.
Well, I mean,
you don't see what all the hype is.
No, exactly. Like I enjoyed it, but I'm like, what? No, like everyone's like hyped about this film, and then of course again it's on the top, nominated on the for best picture, and then like a film like Challengers didn't even get nominated.
Yeah, that is weird.
I have issue with that.
How'd you feel about? I think the underrated performance is the one Russian guy.
Which one? When you say that, can you a little context?
I know. I forget his name because I haven't watched it in a few weeks.
Well, I mean, give me a little bit of like what role was he?
I'll just say he's the one at the very end with her.
Oh, okay. Like
he was very underrated. I thought he was great. You don't feel the same?
No, I mean, I think it was a fine performance, a good performance. I don't know, underrated. I mean, he just kind of was there, like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. You didn't have a ton of dialogue.
No,
yeah.
Just chilling.
I do think it's like halfway through the movie. I think one of the best scenes is that very long scene in the house when they first come in, because it goes on a long time, but it's entertaining.
Yeah.
And funnier than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
But,
and then he runs off.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Interesting. Let's see how much of a hot take that is. I'm going to clip it out.
All right.
I like clipping out the hot takes from you and seeing how the internet reacts to it. Seemed like a lot of people agree with your Superman hot take.
All right. Nice.
Yeah. That was interesting.
All right. So, what films you got over there?
I'm trying to decide if I want to start with the good one or the bad one. I'm probably not gonna have a bunch to say about either, but I'll start with the bad one first. I had to watch Craven just to see. This is on VOD. Is Anora actually streaming now?
No,
it's just VOD.
VOD.
Okay, yeah.
VOD.
So yeah, I don't think this is streaming anywhere yet. Probably soon. But I had to see. This is the final of the Sony Marvel movies. I believe they're done.
So they're not even going to make another Spider-Man movie?
Well, like this subdivision. I guess it's going to be folded into the MCU and be. I don't know. I don't know what the rights wise. I just know that like this kind of little mini universe that's connected to Marvel. You know, Venom.
Oh, okay.
The other Spider-Man films. Madam Web, which is the worst of them all, which is the last one this was on. I will say this movie's better than Madam Web,
okay.
but not by much.
All right.
Madam Web's like very bottom of the barrel. The ADR wasn't as bad. I'll say in this. Madam Web, it was almost all ADR. Still some weird CGI. It just main thing I want to say is the beginning doesn't do a good start with like just even getting you excited for this character that I don't really know anything about. My only context is Spider-Man 2, the video game. He was one of the main villains in that.
Oh, okay.
Besides that, anyway, what's his name that plays him in the movie? He's a good actor. I get his name mixed up with Anya Taylor-Joy because their names are so similar. His is Aaron Taylor Johnson, I believe.
Yeah. Sounds right.
Something like that. But yeah, no, it's I just had to see. Full disclosure though, I did not finish it. So I don't know. Maybe it's like amazing at the end, but I was like, I'm done. I got like halfway through. But I wanted to at least see how it was. Oh, Morbius was the other one that was part of this.
Oh.
That was very bad too.
Yeah.
I'd say it's kind of more on par with Morbius.
Okay.
But yeah. So, and just the way the movie opened just wasn't exciting at all. And that was their opportunity to at least get
you hooked.
Yes. All right. Well, yeah. What's
The other thing, I have finished Skeleton Crew on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, I'm very behind on this. I'm interested how it finished.
I mean, I think it finished all right. I think it was good. I wouldn't say that, wouldn't say that anything fantastic in this whole thing, but it was all like fun and well done and a good ride. There's some great stuff in some of those episodes, and the end's a little, it's a little cheesy with the, kind of back on the.
Was it like an Amblin ending, like one of those movies? Keep with that feel,
Yeah, well, a little bit. Also a little, there was a little. You got a little, honestly, like a little, more like, almost like a Marvel ending kind of thing, a little bit.
That could go either way.
Yeah, where it's just like, lots of destruction and stuff happening. But
okay. Is the CGI better than a lot of those Marvel third acts?
Yeah, on the shows, yes. Like yeah. Like the stuff looked good. I don't think there was any effects. That stuff looked pretty good.
Star Wars normally, because I mean everything looked great even in Acolyte.
Right.
That was not the issue with that. No. So they always do really well with that.
But it was fun. I mean,
okay.
It's no Andor, but but also it's geared towards kids, and Andor's
very
not.
different feel. Yeah.
So
I think you've mentioned that recently. It's like the polar opposite.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
This is the children's one, and Andor's very adult.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any? You can just say yes or no. You don't have to do any spoilers. But was there any interesting like cameos or like bigger characters referenced to the Star Wars universe?
Don't think so.
No.
But as we found out yesterday, maybe I'm not as big of a Star Wars nerd as I thought I was.
Yeah. I left the room. I didn't. But I heard about your Jeopardy.
Yes.
Answer for Star Wars. It's a common misconception though.
Well, it's like I didn't really know, and I knew it wasn't what I thought it was, but I didn't know what to say. So
for the audio and visual listeners, it was a question asked: what does Vader say to Luke? I don't know. How was the question framed?
Something like that. Like, what is
at the end of Empire?
Yeah, or well, when they first meet or something like that. What does he say? Which is also why it was like, a little confusing because it's not what he says when you first meet.
No. Yeah. So what everyone just naturally wants to say is, Luke, I am your father. But it's, no, I am your father.
Right.
That's the common misconception with the line from the movie. But, well, okay. In Skeleton Crew, is there any Jedi?
No.
Interesting. Okay. No Jedi at all. All right.
Well, not really. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I will watch it because I just did it. I was very burned on Acolyte, so like I didn't even.
This is not that.
And no, I know.
And it's not trying to be that. This is much more. Again, the closest thing it was really, it's like much more like Goonies,
which I love. So that's
it's a bunch of kids on a pirate ship. Just happens to be a pirate spaceship and not a pirate ship like in the water. That's.
If I didn't have one more thing to talk about, that would be a perfect segue to Based Ways, because we might have the Goonies involved in our.
Wow. Okay.
Makes sense why it'd be trending, I guess.
Have one other thing.
Okay.
Small thing, but yeah, go ahead.
My other movie I watched, which also very recently came on VOD, is Nosferatu, which I was looking forward to a lot. I just didn't see it in theaters. I didn't know how they were going to go with jump scares, so and that kind of thing I can't handle in theaters, especially especially if you go in like Dolby Atmos. Like I couldn't handle that.
You got to use your website and find them.
Okay, that is I don't know if we've ever mentioned that on the pod, but that is an awesome resource. Where'sthejump.com.
Where's the jump?
Yeah, they give you time codes for movies to tell you or warn you when the jump scares are. No, this was great though. I knew it would be. Robert Eggers is a great director. I've liked all of his movies. We have him on our list. We might do his film soon. He only has 4.
Yeah.
So I was confident in this movie, and the performances were great. The main thing is he nailed not only the time period, but just the atmosphere. It's just so dark, but very, very good to this type of movie, the subject matter, I guess I should say. It was also interesting watching this right after we just did Bram Stoker's Dracula. Because I was wondering, I'm like, how much did he... Because I did see an interview with him. He definitely has mentioned, like, that's... Like, he likes that movie, or it was an influence in some way. So I saw it a little bit, but no, this was very... I don't know the best word for it. He just nailed the atmosphere. Obviously, Bill Skarsgård in this, great. Like he seems like he's getting typecasted now with these kind of roles that like you wouldn't even know it's him really. Like Pennywise, obviously from It, and now this. But yeah, he was awesome. Lily Rose Depp was great. Willem Dafoe is in every movie of Robert Eggers, so he's got like at least one. It's like the who is it in Coppola?
Yeah, Tom Waits.
Tom Waits. Yeah, there you go.
It's like in every
There's
film.
always one, just like the Coens. There was always I don't remember who it was, but there was. Well, Coppola, it's his nephew too. He brings in Nicolas Cage a lot too. Not always.
Not always.
Anyway, yeah, this movie was so great from start to finish, and
nice.
Good runtime, 2 hours, I think. Yeah, just a fantastic director. I think you mentioned to me you haven't seen any of his movies.
Correct.
So that'd be interesting if we write in, let us know if you want us to do that next. We have to decide that soon, actually.
We do.
Our next director.
We do. Like this coming week. Gotta make that call.
Yeah.
Or
so write in.
After.
If there's a specific director you want us to do next. Because yeah, we're getting to the end of Coppola. So
yep.
Yeah, that's it on my list. You have one more thing?
I just want to say, did you see Tim Cook do the Severance elevator?
No, I saw your story posted of it, and I was like, this is awesome, but I didn't see what the context of it was.
So they did a whole they did a whole thing where he
Like, I thought it was going to be part of like their next whatever keynote or whatever they do.
No, it was just like a little 2-minute video they released of him coming into the locker room kind of space.
Oh, he does
getting
the whole
his
thing.
getting his key card. He goes,
Tim C.
Yep, and it says Tim C. Yep, and he puts it on and he gets in the elevator and then he does the transition and ding, and then he's like on the other side and he goes and does some orientation with Milchek.
Oh, he does all that. Okay,
Yes.
I gotta look this up. I didn't see the whole thing. I just saw what you.
And I think it's so
On
awesome
Instagram.
because, I mean, you know, some people say like you know, like obviously Apple's big corporation, you know, whatever, like one of the richest companies in the world, and
Could be some Lumen crossover.
yeah, right, and yet he's willing to like as a CEO just like
Yeah, it's
totally
good.
embrace it and just go on all in and
Did they do the Zali effect?
yes,
Nice.
yeah.
All right, I gotta watch this.
Yeah,
I don't think it's on their YouTube because I would have seen it because I usually
I think
check up on all the Apple
I think
TV
it's on the
YouTube.
It's maybe it's on the Apple YouTube and not the Apple TV YouTube, or I think it's on Apple TV's like Instagram. That's where I shared it from. I
Oh.
think. Yeah, like,
Yeah, I'll just have to look on there.
yeah. But anyway,
That's awesome.
It was cool.
It shows you also just how the jump in like how popular this show has become from season 1 to now.
Yes, for sure.
Not only that, but you mentioned before the live thing they did in the Grand Central Station. Like, there's just so much they're doing this time around because there's, I don't know. Have you seen anything about the numbers? Like, how's it doing?
I haven't seen or heard anything about that,
Yeah, I'm curious.
but I'm sure it's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, seems to be a lot of buzz and getting good buzz. You know, as the episodes
As
come
it
out.
should be.
So yeah. And we'll get into that in a minute. But
Yes, first is time.
It's time for Based or Waste.
All right, welcome back to Base or Waste. We are back to films this week. This is the internet game show where we go on Rotten Tomatoes. We look at what's trending and we check. I picked 10 ones that are trending, and we look at the audience score. And I'm going to mention 10 of them, and Josh is going to guess if they're good or bad, if they're based or waste.
don't forget to play at home.
Yes, play at home. I was trying to think. I'm trying to get my my intro down better and more.
More succinct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm working on it. But yeah, I think that's it. Are you ready, Josh?
I'm ready.
Okay. You're just mentioning that you're now doing better with films, so we'll see.
In 2025,
Yeah.
yes, it seems like
So far, yeah. All right, so this first one I've just mentioned is The Goonies. This is trending. I don't know if there was a re-release in theaters or maybe
Is there there's an anniversary.
That's what it is,
and they re-released in theaters. You're correct.
Oh, I didn't know about this.
There might still be show. I don't know when it's. I don't know. It might have already passed. I had to try to look and I couldn't go see. I think. I don't know.
Dang. Okay.
I'm gonna say based. There's no way this is a waste.
Yes, of course. Yeah, there's going to be maybe a few easy ones on here. Yeah, this is a 91.
Let me move this over for no.
Oh, you want to keep this in the middle?
Keep that in the center. We'll just move these over
Middle is more like, let's see.
more towards me. Right.
Well, I don't know. It depends on if we're lining up. This is not good podcasting
No.
for people listening.
Gotta move a little closer to me so I can write on it. All right, but yeah. All right. So
All
that's
right.
one for me.
Yep. There wasn't a whole lot. So there might be one of these 10 that we maybe have done before because there wasn't a whole lot of new things trending that we haven't done before. So, all right, our next one is A Different Man. We might have done this one before. This is a Sebastian Stan movie. That's not the Trump movie because he's done 2 movies recently.
Yeah. I'm gonna say based.
Yep, 89.
I honestly don't remember if we did this one or not, but
I feel like we did, but yeah, I don't remember. All right, next one is Small Things Like These. This is the Cillian Murphy movie. Guess his next movie since Oppenheimer. Yeah. Because speaking of him, very exciting. He is currently filming the Peaky Blinders movie.
All right.
Which I was happy with that they're doing that.
So I'm just going to guess based.
Yep. 81. Okay. You know, hold this up. Make sure you're not cheating. Gotta hide this a little bit.
Yeah, no.
All right. This one we might have also done, if that's okay. Borderlands. This is trending high again. I don't know.
Waste.
Yes. 50. Yeah, I think this is a waste for critics. I think it's just overall. Just everyone hated it.
Waste.
Yeah. The video games are way better.
You're such a waste, Jared.
We're gonna bring that back. No one's gonna get that.
No.
Unless our sister or our brother listens to this. They're the only ones that will understand. Speaking of, we're going to try to get them on the show.
Yeah.
Our sister probably is going to come on the show.
That'll
first.
happen sooner or later.
Yeah.
Sooner than the other brother.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. All right. Next is Paddington 2.
Based.
Yeah. These have like perfect scores.
Yeah.
Although, no, not right now. This is 89.
This is the audience score.
Yeah, but overall, I think people love...
Yeah, but I feel like the critic scores on both the Paddington films are really high. But
yeah. Oh, this is trending because there is a new one coming out soon. All right, this makes sense. I didn't get to see this, but Interstellar. This was just in theaters.
Re-released as well.
Yeah, they did IMAX, right?
Yeah.
That's sick.
I mean, based.
Yes, 87. Let's see. We got 4 more. We'll see how you do with these. Yeah, these not as tricky this week, but I tried to find. My goal is just to find ones that you're at least somewhat familiar with, and ones that we haven't done before, which is sometimes a little bit harder to do depending on the week. All right, next is Hereditary. Not sure why this is trending.
I'm gonna say based.
Yes, I love this movie, but I don't know if everyone else did. I don't think Ari Aster is doing a new film yet, so I don't know why this is trending, but yeah, 71. Okay. These next two will make sense with what we mentioned last week as well, but these are 2 David Lynch movies. Blue Velvet.
Based.
Yes. You know what, though? I wanted to pick these also because David Lynch stuff could be tricky because some people just don't get it. So, especially his movies can be very, very weird. Yeah, that's an 88. Okay, and Mulholland Drive.
Based.
Yes, 87. All right, this last one. This last one's going to be tricky. I wanted to add this in. I don't know why this is trending, but 50 Shades of Grey. The first one.
What?
I don't know.
Why is this trending?
I don't know.
That's a oh man. Audience score.
Yeah. Take a second for this one, because this is make or break. You could have a perfect or not.
I know. But we don't want to take too long, because then it's boring for the listeners. And
yeah. Well.
Let's just say based.
Nope. I know. I remember when this movie came out, it was like everyone loved it.
It was very hyped. Yeah.
No, this is a 41. This is pretty low. So, or maybe people loved it, and now the ratings started to go down overall. I don't know. But no,
it's weird
41.
that it's trending. Like what?
I don't know. I have no idea. Like the rest of these make sense for like re-releases. Was there a re-release of this or something?
No, or I was thinking, or maybe like one of the stars is doing something else, or
you know what? I think
is there a buzz about like them redoing it with a different,
maybe, or maybe they're gonna do like a TV show
or something. Yeah,
I think this came out around the same time as Interstellar, so it might be like the 10-year. Maybe. I could be wrong. I could be totally off. I don't know. I've never watched those movies. I don't really care about them. All right. Well, I was hoping you would.
So close.
You're so close.
So
yeah.
close.
Still doing better with movies though. Because I think you got I think you got 7 or 8 right last week.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
All right. Well, good job, Josh. That has been Based or Waste. Tune in next week and let us know how you did. Let us know if you're a TV or movie person. What do you do better with? Okay.
All right. Now it's time for Severance Season 2, Episode 2. Goodbye, Mrs. Selvig. Audi Mark contemplates the meaning of a message. Lumen grapples with the fallout of the overtime contingency. All right. Overall,
Love the synopsis.
Overall, what'd you think of this episode, Jared?
Yeah. First of all, just a lot of manipulation just on so many levels in this episode. It was very interesting. Not just from Lumen, just from a lot of different people. Love seeing the complete other side of all these characters. We kind of predicted this last week, which is great that they did this. And another thing I want to say, because we don't have a separate section for like cinematography, but I loved how pretty much every scene that Mark was in this episode, half of his face was obscured by shadow, which I think is very interesting going into kind of his mind in this episode. Which is awesome.
And they also, I mean, they kind of did, not completely witch time up, they do that did a lot more even overall in season 1 for his Audi versus the Ennie, because the Ennies are so overlit and like cheery. Like everything's good, everything's awesome.
That's true.
You know? And, but this one, he was even extra dark. Like,
yeah, I definitely noticed it this time. But it was a great episode.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree. I think
it's like a perfect, it's kind of like a 2 openers, you know, like it's like, next week will be kind of our first, like, next thing story wise, you know what I mean? Because this is kind of like if we would think about it as like a 2-hour season premiere, I would say.
Because the first one's all Ennie and then this one's all Audi.
Yeah.
Which is, it was a cool concept or way to approach it. So from a creative standpoint, it was neat because
filled in a lot of gaps too. It's like
this one especially,
had like everything covered that we were wondering about.
Yeah. So it confirmed a bunch of stuff that was like unknown even just from the first episode. And then even brought some stuff in from the end of the finale of season 1, answering some stuff there. So there was a lot of revealed here for being episode 2, but still lots of questions and new questions.
Oh yeah, always.
So, all right, should we get into it?
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, right off the bat, we open up on Audi Mark as he just turned back at the party.
I love that they did the effect from behind.
Yes.
That was cool.
Yeah. The Zolly from behind.
The Zolly, yeah.
But it was really, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, honestly, well, this and Helena that we'll talk about here in a minute were like the two you really were like curious of at the finale of season 1.
Oh yeah.
And then and it's just a brief there. We kind of come back to him a little bit later, but and then we go to Helena.
Yes.
And then she's confronted by her father. And he calls her a fetid muppet.
Yes. I was so curious. I'm like, what was the Google search like spike
fetid
for like, because I definitely did. I was aware of the first word. Shout out to Bloodborne, the game. That's what I know that word from. But Moppet, not Muppet, Moppet. Yeah, I don't know, but I was curious. I'm like, I bet everyone right after this episode. Yeah. So did you do that also?
No, I did not.
You didn't? Okay, so you don't know what this means?
No, I don't. So why don't you share with the audience?
It's fetid's like very foul smelling. And moppet is like a old word for like a little girl.
No.
So foul smelling little girl, essentially.
From your father of the year.
Yeah. Her reaction was kind of interesting though, where she's like, she was not shocked by him saying that at all.
Yeah.
Maybe not the first time he said it to her, but my only thing is, it's just this guy has to be from like the 1800s or something. Like no one uses those words anymore. You know, there's got to be something going on that like traces him back to the, what was it, mid 1800s? They said when that started.
I mean, that's a mystery that we don't know yet.
No, still hoping for that flashback episode. I think that'd be sick.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see if that happens.
Yeah.
I think it's cool to finally meet Helena, like Ray, because I mean, technically we still haven't really met her, because as soon as we experienced the Audi, she was already actually technically the innie on the outside.
Technically, the only time we've seen her as Helena
was when she recorded the messages.
Well, I would say in person, because she did the recordings, but was like from the pilot when Mark's leaving and almost runs into her. But there's no dialogue.
Right. Yes.
He almost runs into her in the parking lot. She's holding the flowers. That's literally the only time we've seen
and when
her.
she goes in for the severance procedure, because then technically she's.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So there's a yeah.
But not really.
Yeah, but that's really interesting, because she's very different the way she acts even in that scene too. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Like she's very different in this episode.
Yes.
As Helena.
For sure.
Yeah. We also see, I don't know if you have down, we don't get his name yet, but we get our new character, Mr. Drummond.
Yep.
Because he like escorts James Egan and to see her.
Yeah, and then we get a brief shot of Dylan walking out with an ice pack on his head.
Yeah. I wonder what they said to him. Or if he's going to Pips also for the VIP section as a reward for, or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he tells them later, like what they, at least their cover for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go back to Helena, and she's walking this long hall, and we see it from the side.
This was sick.
It was a cool shot.
Yeah.
I put down like it kind of reminded me of a video game, like when you're like just like
the point of view,
like that just
side scrolling kind of,
when you're like exploring a little, I don't know, but
like a Metroidvania. I was curious because I wanted to ask you, like, because they've mentioned on the official podcast this building and where they film the Lumen building. How would they do that? This seemed like a very hard shot to do, because it goes on a long time too of her walking.
Yeah.
And it's from the outside. Looks like it is the building. It's not like a stage.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like they actually filmed it there. I don't know. It just seemed like a very hard shot to get to me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if maybe they just,
although I guess you could maybe just do it with a drone. No, it wouldn't be that stable though.
Yeah, it wouldn't fly that.
So is it a crane?
Yeah, or they have like these kind of like cable cameras.
Okay.
Kind of like they use in the NFL.
Oh.
Like above, and so I mean, maybe you could use something like that as well.
Gotcha.
It would be a lot more smooth, and so it's like almost like a dolly in the air.
Well, we know they love their dollies.
But it also could be a crane. I mean, like, I guess you could use some kind of jib. I don't know. Or like you said, or it ended up being all special effects, and it's not really.
That would be crazy if that was the case. But our last episode.
Yeah, the opening shot, they said it had tons of special effects. And it was shot over 5 weeks or something crazy. And
just the fact that once they said like part of it was him running on a treadmill, that kind of blew my mind, because did not look like he was doing that at all. And the background at all never looked CG to me. So they got the Apple money. That's why I love watching the Apple shows. They can provide that if they need to.
This show, at this point, as big as it is,
they're getting unlimited
flop
budget
on the third season. Like, they're going to get as much money as they want till they're done. Then she's walking down this hall, and then she gets into a also ridiculously large conference room, like boardroom, and Mrs. Cabell is sitting at the other end.
Yes.
And so they offer her a promotion to join an advisory council for
Severance Advisory Council. Yeah.
And she's not having it.
No, it's funny. It seems like to me they're offering her this position. It seems like a position where she has to be there permanently, and they're doing it just to keep her quiet. That's what it seems like to me. They don't want her on the
well, they're definitely trying to keep her
right.
happy.
But it seems like a position where, like, because we see later also she's packing up, so it seems like if she takes it, if she takes the promotion, like, has to be at Lumen permanently.
You think
that's what I think?
I didn't think about it that way. I didn't know, because by the time we see her later packing up, I'm like, where's she going? Is she?
Yeah, I don't know if she's
the job, or she's just like, because she didn't decide. She was like, let me think on it.
And then also, because I just know, besides obviously like something crazy like Gemma, Miss Casey, like Petey says in the first season, like there's plenty of people that don't ever get to leave at Lumen. So I don't know. That's what it made me think of.
Yeah, might be.
This is when we get the title sequence, or at least that's my next note. I don't know if you.
I just put like in the shot with the crazy long table. So cool.
Oh yeah, it was.
And this is then where we get the you fear me, and then she says, "We fear no one."
Mm-hmm. And I welcome your contrition.
Yep. And then we get and Mr. Drummond is there again.
Yep. Very whole other side of the table.
Yeah. And I'm just like, to me, like he's giving me some vibes of like he's Grainer again. Like
that's what it seems like to me too. But higher up maybe, because Grainer wouldn't be up here.
Correct.
Well, we never saw him up here at least. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's some kind he's kind of like some kind of security as well. It seems like, but like maybe higher up.
But he does do some spying like Grainer did in the first season.
Yep.
So.
And then we get. Yeah, we're not just new title scene. Then Helena records her PR video to cover up her Audi. I mean, her any talking as the Audi, and
it's just saying, so crazy hey, what her
she's like, I got
a
little drunk and I had some medication mixed up.
Non-lumen. She made sure to point out non-lumen medication because she doesn't want to make the company look bad.
Yeah,
mixed with drinks
for a rash.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we get the little interaction with her and Milchick. He's like asked what he should do. She's like, let Kira guide your hand.
Yeah.
And then we see him get on a motorcycle.
Yes. He does a lot of driving in this episode on his motorcycle.
But like, he's someone that looks cool enough to have a motorcycle.
Oh yeah.
So he first goes to Irving, and Irving lies about where he was at.
Yes. Yeah.
And this is, I think he's still the one that we have the least information out of his Audi. Because, like, obviously he had that map in season 1 already, things mapped out. So he, as an Audi, is like investigating this company in some way, shape, or form. And
yeah, that's something that we didn't get to see what happened to him.
Mm-hmm. So when did it actually switch over? What happened?
Well, it was definitely when he was banging on the door.
Yeah. But did he talk to him? Did he not?
We don't know. Yeah.
And then is his Audi, because Audi's already so suspicious and looking at this company, is his Audi just like what much more aware of like probably what just happened and not being so weirded out like Mark is.
Yeah, and as we get through the episode, it gets more confusing.
Yes.
what all is going on with him on the outside.
Yeah, so but then Milchick fires him. Says we're gonna let you go.
Yeah.
But also it was funny when he's like, what did I do? Did I eat something?
Yeah, I love that, yeah.
He's like, how was your night?
Mm-hmm.
Then he was with Dylan and fires him too.
Yeah.
And then we get a new title sequence.
Okay.
How'd you feel about this new title sequence?
I love it. I think it's sick. I think it's even better than season 1.
Yeah.
Maybe that's recency bias, but I really, because it still kept the same style.
Yep.
But it didn't felt to me, like you mentioned before, like it seemed kind of AI-ish.
Yeah.
But it's like that's before a lot of that when for the first season. This didn't seem like it as much. Still keeping the style though. And I already know he's mentioned Ben Stiller. He just found the guy on Instagram.
Yes.
And he won, which is cool for season 1. There's so much in this. I didn't really make notes of it. I'm sure as we go I will. But like I love the baby Kier at the end.
Yep.
That was great.
And I just love that it integrates some of the other characters because I think the one from season 1 just had Mark.
Yeah, mainly. Yeah, I think so.
This one has like little glimpses of some of the other people.
I do love that the only thing I wanted to mention was towards the end, you see the testing floor elevator and it switches between Helly and Miss Casey like a lot back and forth, which is really cool. You see that earlier in the title sequence as well, but so that's a common theme in this new title sequence. There's also a car like in ice in the background that very interesting. Maybe it has to do with Cold Harbor or Gemma.
Yeah.
I don't know, but there's probably a ton. I'm sure there's a lot more Easter eggs and stuff, but yeah, very cool though. Yeah. What'd you think of the title sequence?
I thought it was cool. I mean,
it seemed way more trippy than the first season 1.
Definitely a little more, abstract.
Get more of the goats involved too. There's a lot more of that.
Yeah. So then after that, we come back to Mark and, we see Rickon letting Rebecca leave.
Oh, yeah.
And she says, don't punish the baby, which is so, he's like, don't worry, Rebecca.
It's a very Rebecca thing to say.
And then we get this where Mark and his sister are arguing about what he meant by she's alive.
Yeah.
Because now Mark's like, no, it doesn't make any sense. And his sister basically thinks he was talking about his wife. Where then they were like, no, it's just the baby. He was holding the picture, but they just found the baby.
Yeah, this is so weird how they do this because it's like they all know what he meant, but they're just trying to rationalize it in this scene too. It's like, no, it's obviously the baby. But the way they look at each other and the way they say it, they're like, yeah, baby, right?
Right.
You know?
But like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's hard to because you can't rationalize the other because you're like, doesn't make any sense. So then you're like, it has to be this. But it's because there's things you don't know.
Right.
Or understand.
I love in the background in the scene, Rickon mentions rescheduling the reading and deciding if he wants to start over the reading or not.
Yeah, it was also when he mentions about the Audi. I mean, the Workie.
And he comes up with Kobelvig.
Yeah.
Also.
He was so excited about the Annie liking his book. He's like, this guy, he's kind of cool. And then, yes, he is. He said like, but and then Milchick.
Also Devin said something about like what did she say? Lactation fraud.
Yes. Lactation fraud, which is after Milchick's there.
Oh, does she do it after? Oh,
yeah.
That was before he showed up. Okay.
So Milchick shows up, and so I have I'm gonna say like when he says Mr. Scout.
Yeah.
For some reason, this whole time I thought it was Scott, Mark Scott.
Did you really?
Yes.
Oh no, they say Scout in season 1.
But it must have been like not enunciated enough, and then my brain just assumed it was Scott.
You just thought they kept his last name as an actor for the show?
I don't know. And then and it's most time it's Mark S, not
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I just didn't. And then when he said, I was like, wait, is he saying his name wrong? And then of course I look and I'm like, no, that's his name. And I'm like, oh, I'm just not heard. I misheard everyone else saying Scout and thinking he said Scott.
Yep.
And of course, again, probably because the actor's name, and that just like my brain just put it together. And so anyway, so revelation for me, it's Mr. Scout.
Yeah, Mark Scout. Yeah.
So he sits down with them. He's like, I'm sure you have lots of questions. And then, but I loved what he's like, I don't know anything about this OTC. He's like, you can find the OTC disclosure can be found in your start paperwork. Just such a classic, like corporate, like, oh, it's in there in the fine print.
Mm-hmm.
Trust us.
That no one reads. Yeah.
Yeah. Because otherwise you could sue us and we cover our butts.
Oh yeah.
And then this is also when then Devin, she's like, oh, let's talk about lactation fraud.
Okay. Yeah. This scene was just really great just to see him show up. And because we haven't really gotten him interacting
with Audis.
Yeah, right. And Devin and Rickon and all that. So it's just interesting seeing him.
And then right before they leave, he says something about saying that he was brave in doing what he did, and I'd hate to reward his bravery with non-existence.
Mm-hmm.
Such a like gaslighting way to make him feel guilty about.
That's what I mean. This whole episode, there's so many different scenes of manipulation in different ways, whether it be from the company or from a specific person. And yeah, he's essentially literally at the same time, like he's praising Mark, but also saying like, but if you do this, you're going to kill
your innie.
Yeah, kill your innie, essentially. Yeah. Yeah, he's, I mean, Milchek's very good with words or saying very specific things like last episode. If you take the diagram at face value or whatever he says, he's like, I'd say yes. Like he's so specific.
Yeah.
So he's not technically lying, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
Like he's,
yeah. Then we go to Irving finding the map with Bert's name on it.
Yeah. You got to mention him while he's petting Radar.
Yeah.
That dog looks great. Looks awesome.
But that's just a quick flash there.
Yes.
To him. And then yeah. Sorry, I lost my spot.
I have Helena reviewing the footage. I believe that's next.
Helena watching her and Mark flirt and then kiss.
Yep.
She's fascinated by Mark too. Like,
yeah, it seems like from her reaction that she is into him also.
Yeah,
or it feels like we always mention, or some of that's kind of seeping, coming through, right?
Because she seems the board. Because we get later when the board like approves his request, and obviously she's got to be part of that. And I don't know. Then we see Mark waking up, getting up for the morning, and he can see Lumen building from his house. It's like,
yeah.
And I was like, oh man, we've not seen it done that way, but it's like in the reflection of the window. And then he gets a text message, but he brings out a phone that is not an iPhone.
There were no iPhones in the show.
Yeah, but before, like they were like old. Like they had the old flip phones. Those PDs. Season 1.
I have a well, I think it's like one of my last notes, but I can mention it now because it doesn't have to do with any specific scene. I am still baffled by the time period or like what's going on here, because there's so many shots of cars in this episode, and all of them are either from the 80s and 90s. The cars. Don't see any of the cars. The phones, very weird, specific phones. Obviously with Lumen, the technology we mentioned before is like almost 70s, it seems.
Right. But then this phone looks like more modern.
Right, but like an Android.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. And then, well, Ricken's phone also, when he does the bell, rings the bell. That's also kind of look like this. Yeah, I don't know. Everything in this show is intentional though. So there's like, I'm just confused by it. Like, but for sure the cars though are all from the 80s or 90s. They're all that very boxy look. So,
yeah.
I don't know the reasoning for that, but.
So, and then we go to Dylan.
Yes.
And he's interviewing at the door manufacturing.
Great Doors is the name of this.
Great Doors. There's so many great like conversational lines in here. How old were you when you figured out that you like doors?
5.
If you could be a door, what would you be?
You say pocket door?
Yeah, he said pocket door. And he's like, tell me more.
Oh, he's so fascinated too at this point. The interviewer.
He's like, I guess I could be doing my door thing, and then when I'm not needed, and then he pauses for a second. The guy's like, you could tuck away.
Yeah, he was
so. And then he's like, do you like kickball?
I like that he Dylan asked about like benefits of the job, and he's like, he has a coffee machine. That's his response.
He's like, healthcare. Oh yeah, we got that.
Oh yeah.
No, and then he asks, flat or eggshell?
Oh, and he says semi-gloss.
Yes. He's
so
like,
good.
And he's like, oh, hot.
Oh, he was so into it. So this was, you didn't watch the trailer, but this scene of just them, the frame of them just staring at each other, the coffee machine's in the middle, right? You see the doors kind of going behind him.
Yeah.
This was a random shot in the trailer.
Yeah.
And I was so confused by it. Because it's like, I always thought it was like something Lumen experiment, because you see the shot very quick and they look so similar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
and also he makes a comment about Lumen when he looks at he's like, oh, they make their doors in-house. Like, like it's like, yeah, you suck.
Yeah.
You make your doors in-house.
Yep. There's so many good things about this scene, but I just love how, cause this is more, we get more of kind of the world, how the world feels about, and just how polarizing it is. Just like a very hot political topic, and he's just like, he immediately just changes the interviewer.
Yes.
When he finds out that he's severed.
Been severed. Yeah, because he asked him about the kickball, and then it says something about you have and then competition or something, and then Dylan says, oh, do you give out door prizes?
Oh, that's right. That's when he gets mad.
That's when he first starts to be like a little annoyed with him, because he's like, that's not cool, kind of. And then
Dylan was killing the interview up until that point. He was just like, he was killing it, and then he goes to the history, and he sees he was a severed employee, and he goes, what do you think, this is a carpet factory? If you want to circumcise your brain, you go ahead. Oh yeah. It's also just like, it's just like more repercussions also, like if you do decide to do the severance procedure, like and you want to get out of Lumen, it's like you're kind of screwed. Like you almost have to go back to Lumen for a job, because not many other people are going to hire you,
because you, like you said, it's such a political thing. You're going to get discriminated for.
I also just want to mention, this is so cool that they added this in, because I don't know if you saw this interview, but Dan Erickson has talked about many times how he'd worked at a door factory, and he came up with the idea for the show during that, which is so cool. So I love that they incorporated that as an actual plot point in this season.
Yeah, like the door factory place was what really made him think, I don't want to be here. Can I just somehow get the work done and then leave and not even remember being here?
Yeah. But if he didn't work there, we would not have the show.
Yeah.
So
thank you to the door factory.
Yeah, thank you to whatever door factory he worked at. Yeah.
Then we go.
He didn't seem as passionate about it as this guy.
Then we go to Pips, and Mark and Devin are arguing again about Gemma, and whether they pursue it or not.
Such a good scene.
Yeah.
Their interaction.
Yep. Yeah, it was good. And then we see Drummond is listening in, Mr. Drummond,
with a frolic tattoo on his hand, which was funny. Yeah, I like very intentionally like vague on even Mark and Devin's conversation.
Okay.
So we don't get much confirmed, but he does say, like, we kind of get a confirmation that Mark saw Gemma's body after she died. He says something about like burning, so I guess like, she was cremated,
right,
quote unquote. It's like we still don't really know what happened, or if there was the old swaparoo of the body at some point, from Lumen. But yeah, very interesting. I love the main thing I loved is how he responded to where he said, like, if Rickon died, he's like, I'd feel sad, but I wouldn't be right. What was the word he used?
I wouldn't be affected.
Affected, yes. That was, it was so good. Their interaction back and forth with that. And all the things he goes into with her about Gemma, which is really great.
And then we get Irving calling someone on a payphone, and Bert is watching him.
This is what makes it more confusing.
Yeah, because you're like, he followed him. Also, who's he calling?
Right. He could just be leaving a message.
Why is he using a payphone?
True. Also, why is there payphones?
Right.
I don't even know the last time I've seen a payphone in real life. Yeah. I did, because the second time I watched this episode, I watched with subtitles. And because you can't really hear what he says on the phone. Really at all.
Okay.
But he says, I want you to know that my Annie got the message, was the main thing that he says. So, yeah.
Who's he working with?
I don't know. But also, I think what he's referring to is like, because I mentioned before how he's like really trying to communicate with his Annie in some way, or trying to disrupt him in some way with the pain, obviously, and like intentionally staying up all night.
Yeah.
So his Annie will fall asleep. So I don't know though. I don't know like what the full extent of it is and what his end goal is for that. I mean, it's got to be like you mentioned, like why he's looking, or he has the list of all these employees and looking into the company.
Yeah, he's definitely like doing something.
Yeah. The shot of Bert in the car I thought was so cool though. Just like very shadow heavy. Yeah. And just a really cool shot.
Yeah. And then we go to Milchek. He's back to talking to Mark, this time at Mark's house instead of at his Devin and Rickon's house. And he hands him a fruit basket with a pineapple in it.
Yeah, everyone
but they're
gets
not bobbing about it.
Nope.
Not bobbing for pineapples.
Nope, not yet at least.
And he offers him a 20% pay increase. How would that make you feel, Mark?
Right. That's yeah, I also this, at least to me, I don't know how you feel about it, because you and I didn't agree on the time difference when Milchek says 5 months.
Right.
But I believe this seems to be confirmation that it was just the weekend. Well, we get a little bit later also with the other crew.
Yeah, like this episode definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Because it seemed like it happened on a Friday where they did this whole scheme, this overtime thing. And then, because he says something about like, I hope you come back on Monday. Milchek says to him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, yeah, because the Mark W.
Yeah.
mentions something about like a couple days.
Yes,
right?
later. Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yep. So then I like how he pulls out his heart again for the Annie. He says, he's found love, Mark.
Oh, yeah. And then he's like, what? But he doesn't say anything else.
Yeah.
Then he changes the subject.
Then we go to Milchick and the
Mr. Drummond. Yep. And
then
Helena. The meeting.
Yeah,
that's where Natalie is too. We finally see her
Natalie's,
too.
There. Yep. And they're at the
shout out to her. I like her.
Giant conference table again.
Yeah.
And then they're like talking and they're playing Mark's outrage for the board, like the recording he did for the board.
Yeah.
He was like, I want my friends back.
Mm-hmm.
And they are like, we're going to give him what he asked for. So
the line, though, the interesting thing is we just need him long enough to finish Cold Harbor.
So I have that down.
Yeah.
We need Marcus. And also Milchick's like, I only have 40 hours to pull this together.
Right. There you go. Yep.
So it was at least 40 hours from when the thing happened to when
getting the new people,
recruits in there. He mentions again, like whatever it was we talked about last week, the two of them are from like a previous floor. It was like 5X or something.
Yeah, he said 5X, and their reaction seemed like, whoa, like they were like 5X. So
yeah,
don't know what that means. It is interesting though. So this 5X station or building or whatever department, that's what Mark W. and Gwendolyn whatever came from.
Gwendolyn Y.
There you go. And they mentioned that they never make quota.
Yes.
So that's very interesting. So it's failed it in some way.
Yeah. And then they talk about Cold Harbor. We need Mark S. back to work long enough to complete Cold Harbor. So like, they don't care if they have to rehire people, whatever they have to do.
Yeah. So, I mean, a little bit of a, like, obviously, something to do with Mark's reaction, because we talk about just the refinement in general.
Yeah.
Is there like emotional reaction to numbers?
Okay.
They mentioned that in the first season. Yeah. And then that's how they bend them in different things.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, Hallie at one point is like, oh, their numbers are scary, right? So obviously connected to, and what we saw at the end of the last episode, right? All the Gemma and all the, what, her on the screen and all that stuff of like him sorting it. So obviously has to do with their connection, why they need him. So his connection to Gemma in some way to finish this file.
Right.
But I still don't know what it ultimately is they're trying to do.
Yeah, I don't know.
I still think I like the theory of like ultimately like mentioning immortality, but I think more specifically like actually trying to get the original Kier to come back.
Yeah. So the question is it immortality, reincarnation?
Yeah. Right.
Or is it cloning?
That too. Yeah.
I think cloning's too obvious.
I know. Yeah, I think so
too easy. So Mark goes to work for a few days, and we just see him go in, leave from the Aldi's perspective, which is mirrors what we saw in the first episode, but it's Annie's perspective. And then Milchick gets the other ones back. Mark's going to work. You see Mark W. getting fired. He says, 3 days of work. I got a lease on something or whatever.
Yep. And then he yells F you Lumen, just like the punk band.
Yep. And then Mark goes in and we get this really cool Warner.
Yes.
It was each of them.
I want to hear what you thought of this because this is so cool.
Yeah. So I mean, it's really well done because the amount of coordination and camera movement and timing, because you couldn't go through it too fast. It wouldn't feel like they were all separated and wouldn't cross paths.
Yep.
So you gotta but then also you don't want to really wait a long time, because then it'll feel boring to the viewer to be like,
Yes.
where's the next person? Oh, okay,
Right.
you're there. And that's why you edit things, because then you can make time pass faster than it does in real life. But when you're doing a oneer and there's no cuts, time has to pass the same as it does in real life. So that was a challenge with this, to get that timing. But I think what they did turned out great. Like, it was
very cool,
visually very cool. And
it's also the first time we've seen all of them.
Is that
their process of, like, because we've only seen Mark before, like getting ready and getting scanned and changing their, you know, their badge and watch and all the stuff they do with their locker. Still very interesting, but also still very confusing. The Helena debate.
So did you notice her time she goes in the elevator does not ding?
Oh, is that the difference?
But she's so.
I didn't notice that.
The other three, it dings.
Okay.
And then she goes in, but like they just kind of cut. So like,
right.
She's also the fourth one. So maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't matter, and it's just like a matter of like timing wise. They didn't make, it would have dinged after we cut away, and so they just don't put it in there.
Right.
Or is it intentional to make it be like, oh, that didn't ding because she didn't actually switch over?
I think it's still, that's why it's so confusing. Like, they don't want to do that reveal yet, obviously. Like, it's still.
I think it'll happen soon. We'll find out.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be like a whole season thing. No, I think it'll be pretty soon. But yeah, they definitely, the way she gets ready to go down the elevator, you can't really tell.
Nope.
Her reaction and everything is
Well, also we don't see her come out on the other side.
Nope.
Other than what we saw in the episode
in
one.
the first episode. Yeah.
And then we get the final scene here.
Yeah. He finally
Mark's coming home, and he sees,
because leading up to this, he kept trying to.
Yeah, he kept trying to find her.
Yeah.
He sees Cobell and stops her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's almost like so pretentious. Oh, Mark.
That's how she always is.
Yeah, but like extra.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark.
She seems annoyed. Well, and then obviously then she's very angry.
Yeah, but she's like annoyed with him. And then he's like, I ate your crappy cookies.
Yeah, confirmed. Not good cookies.
She's like, they convinced you to stay. Was there a pineapple involved? Love that line.
Yeah, and then she's like, you're so easily swayed. Like she says to him.
Yeah, which is like, no one wants to hear that.
Nope, definitely not.
And then she goes, not really giving me answers, and she goes to leave. So he jumps in front of her car.
Yeah,
the tension here is good, and she's because there's a close up of her, and she's taking a breath and kind of closing her eyes.
They linger on it for a while too.
That you're like, is she going to tell him anything?
Yeah, because he's like, what do you know?
And
the main thing he asked though at the very end is, do you know something about Gemma?
Right.
And we were like, they hold on a while. We were like, please say something. Then she just yells and
screams,
mad, and then almost runs him over.
Yep.
So I mean, but that is like obviously like, yes, she knows.
Yeah, she has to.
Yeah,
I mean, she's got to know who Miss Casey is, and
or is involved in some way. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is very exciting going forward. Like I mentioned, like it's kind of like a 1A and 1B to the season opener.
Yes, for sure.
So now we're like next episode's actually the moving with the story, like what happens next. So
yeah.
I guess from here on out, I imagine it's going to be like season 1 where it's a good mix of any and outy.
Probably. I don't think they're going to keep doing. I don't think they're going to keep doing the any and outy thing.
Yeah,
I think that was just for these first 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Very, very cool to do though. Like we both mentioned, it's an awesome way to open the season.
And other than like the cloning and or reincarnation or whatever they're doing, the theories.
Yeah. No, I don't. Not really. I do think I'll have to study it more. Maybe I'll mention it next pod, but definitely seems to be some stuff in our new title sequence. Like I said, there's definitely a car, like, looks like there was like an accident and it's in ice.
Right.
So I'm like, that's got to be something to do with Gemma and Cold Harbor and all that. So yeah. That's it.
Yeah. I was just looking at my notes, making sure I forget something. Well, what did you guys think of this episode 2 of season 2 of Severance? Did you think this is a good start to the season? These two, especially these 2 episodes back to back together? Let us know. You can write in at feedback@screentimepod.com, or you can comment or follow us, like and subscribe. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram.
Yep. All the above.
Facebook. Yeah. And if you'd like, you can follow either one of us on Instagram. I'm at JYoungBar.
And I'm at Jared Youngbar.
And thank Kier for the microdata uprising.